Truth Serum with Carl Thomas. Flirting after work. That's right. Got my girl A Boogie riding.
Yeah.
Tyrone.
Yes.
DJ Terry Franks in here.
What up?
And in fact, we have a very, very, very special guest. Ladies and gentlemen, I told you today was Marsha Day. That's right. Marsha Ambrosius. I have my sister.
Hello.
I have my sister on the phone. How you doing, baby girl?
You do? I'm actually Mrs. Phillips now, so no one can mispronounce my last name that I used to
That's
have.
right.
It's an artist thing now.
Now it's just an artist flair.
Yes, it's Ambrosius, darling. But it's been a minute.
I know.
Pausing at the airport.
I know. Yeah. Well, I'm leaving and you're leaving, and
I know.
You know what I mean, and what have you. And I'm telling you, but I really enjoyed the expo, though. I really did.
Me too. It was so much fun. So much fun. And my husband had a ball being in the arena and taking flicks for, Reggie Miller's retired jersey and my right here.
That's crazy. Did you get a chance to go to the celebrity basketball game?
We just missed it, so we were sound while that was happening, and then I was like first to be on, and we just landed that morning, so it was a case of get some sleep while you can, and then get on stage.
Right. Well, it was just so much going on. You know what I mean? And a lot of things were somewhat simultaneously happening. And for those of you that don't know what we're talking about the Indianapolis Black Expo. Okay. Over this past weekend. A really, really wonderful, really wonderful family event. And, there was just so many representations of the new thing that's coming out. I would say the new black thing. You know what I mean? That's coming out. I saw clothing brands and brand new jewelry brands, and I saw brand new people, brand new.
Everyone had the opportunity to shine, and having a lineup the way they did for everyone to stay in there for one full weekend was just a beautiful thing to be a part of. So I love it down there. Yeah, always a good time.
I had a lot of fun, and they're some of the greatest R&B fans ever. I'm telling you.
Man.
So funny story. I happened to actually be in one. I actually found myself in the same studio that you and I met.
Really?
Yeah, I actually found myself there recording with a young artist by the name of Bino French. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and here's the thing is that I actually was halfway into a bottle of Kim Crawford at the time. So it kind of took me a minute to realize where I was because everything in the studio is so brand new and shiny. I was like, wait a minute, this is where we recorded. So that was really full circle for me, and a lot of people don't know that you are in fact a newlywed now.
Yeah, it's been 4 years of us being together. You 2 years married.
But so that means, oh man, that is fly. I'm telling you why that's fly, because I ask a lot of questions, okay? I ask a lot of questions to married people.
I have nothing to hide.
Married people, newlyweds, my friends, my family. I've never been married. A lot of people think that I have, but no, I've never been married. So I'm always asking newlywed questions. So I just kind of, I'm one of the people that knows that, that knows how busy you really are. A lot of people don't know that you travel as much as you actually do. And so you can you just speak a little bit about the balance that you found between, your marriage and your fans and career? Because a lot of us really want to know, and there's a lot of, believe it or not, there's a lot of fellow artists that really want to know as well, that maybe we haven't yet turned that corner yet, but I've never known you to hold anything back. I mean, as long as I've known you, you know, and sometimes that's good and sometimes that's bad, but most of the time everybody needs to hear it.
Listen, it's honest. Whatever it is, it's just honest. You know, good, bad, or indifferent. But for me, it was when I decided to just not throw in the towel, but go, you know what, I've done enough. Where I set out a certain goal for my career, I felt like I'd reached that peak. I'd reached the pinnacle that I wanted to in my career. So I decided to be open enough to the possibility of falling in love, because I'd never done that. I'd always concentrated on my career and knew that if I'd met somebody, there's nothing that could be any more serious than just that. So I'm a career artist. That's first. I'm already, you know, from the UK. I'm away from home as it is. So if you come in with it, like, come with it. But if it's just something casual, which, you know, in the past it had been, I didn't want any parts of it. But once I decided that's what I wanted, is when love presented itself to me. And when I met my husband, it was very unexpected. I didn't know I was going to meet him the way that I did, but I did. We met on tour, and I decided to shoot my shot and go, I didn't know he was going to be my husband. This is I'm really comfortable with, you know, shooting my shot with. And then we talked, and it was a bit more than it just wanting to be somebody I just wanted to talk to. I didn't want to stop talking to him, and we never did. From July 15th, after midnight, when we went to go grab something to eat from Buffalo Wild Wings, and it was closed, and in Virginia, Norfolk, Virginia, after the show, and we just hadn't stopped talking. So by the time we're off the tour, a month after that, right after my birthday, we get back to Los Angeles, where I was living at the time. He was living there at the time. And it just kind of worked itself out. My dad was on vacation in LA, staying at mine. I said, you know what, Dad? I want you to meet somebody. I know it's only August, but I don't want, you know, a couple months from now when I come home for Christmas and then you say, who's this guy? At least, like, meet him, because I feel like this is going to be a bit more serious than I think it is. So I was really serious. And it just happened to be serious. We fell in love, and I did take him home for Christmas. He met my entire family.
So who did he get the most flack from?
Right.
My mother.
Your mom.
To this day, Bluehead Cookie. We laugh and joke about it every day, but that's it was a serious thing. Flat.
Oh wow.
But it's supposed to be. I'm her baby girl, and I was explaining to somebody the other day that, being as though I have been in the United States working and away from home for that amount of time, my mum, she knows me as the early 20s, just getting into motherhood. I mean, getting into womanhood. You know, it was, I'm 21, 22 when I'm leaving home saying, you know what, Mum, I'm going to shoot my shot in the States. I feel like if I do, I might get a deal, I might be famous. I don't know what's going to happen, but it's going to happen. So I only came home for like Christmas or to renew a visa. So I didn't get that interaction with my mother how we used to, one-on-one, like every day, all day. And then she's seeing her, you know, her baby girl is a woman now, making her own life decisions.
Making woman decisions.
And it always, so it feels like I'm making woman decisions without her. You know, so I had a lot of that to handle and kind of reel in and go, you know what, Mom, you're just going to have to trust me. And if it all blows up in my face, it's going to be a beautiful song at some point.
That perspective.
I'm going to make like the most fire album of it if it don't work out. But I promise you, you're just going to have to trust me. So I feel like even him meeting my family and him diving in the deep end,
although
from Liverpool, England.
Although it was a great album, we don't need any more Here My Dears. okay.
It was a tough time. I listened to certain albums, and I actually cringe at the thought of who that artist had to be in order to fulfill that emotion.
Yeah, it's really
sad.
It's
like dive into it.
It's a little bit too vulnerable for me.
Yeah,
it's for me.
It's deep.
Yeah,
and
like that album was like a raw sore.
Come on, Mr. Emotional himself. You're the poster child.
Yeah, but but that's the thing. That's the thing is that I am I'm an extremely, being just naturally being a Gemini, I wear my heart on my sleeve. You wouldn't know it because
my brother's Gemini.
we come off so callous sometimes that you wouldn't know it, but I believe either you're
the switch up is real.
Switch up is real.
I remember you telling me your brother was a Gemini, bro. No, but you come off so callous to people, but in fact, you're really taking all the information in, and I'm a way station for certain emotions, which is why projects like that is sometimes difficult for me to listen to, because like I said, it's like an open sore.
Right, it really is, and there's no way to get around it. Even if you had to perform these songs all over again, you have to revisit that moment. There's certain songs that I've written that I never want to sing again. I was like, do you know I went through to get to that place? But okay.
I can imagine it's getting late. It's like that.
Oh, it's getting late. You know what? It's getting late. I didn't even know what that type of love was. I really embodied.
No, but you know what though? I'm gonna
Philadelphia A-room. I envisioned like an older woman who'd been married 3 times in her 70s, and she's in love with the first baby daddy, but he's already moved on and got a life of his own, but he keeps coming back because they got kids, and they do it occasionally because
that's what baby mums and fathers do.
That's
real. I made up this entire story who I felt she would feel like.
But Marsha,
I didn't even know what that was. I was 21, 22.
Marsha, one of the greatest things about being a songwriter is that you get a chance to present your projected self. You know what I mean? You get a chance to, like a lot of songs that I wrote when I was 19 and 20 years old was about things that I dreamed about or things that I felt like I wanted in my future, and it wasn't necessarily about what I was going through at the time, but a lot of times when you're a songwriter, the biggest blessing is that you get to write your dreams and your stories through other people's music.
Absolutely.
So and a lot of people don't really know about your tenure as a songwriter long before you put out an album. Can you just talk a little bit about the butterflies experience?
The butterfly effect
and the touch of jazz and the touch of jazz experience before that.
Best Buy, and I just purchased the Invincible vinyl. Because I hadn't seen it before, and it has like the blue album cover and the whole vinyl with Michael's face, and I was like, "Babe, just like buy that for the house. I'm gonna frame it." And but that's just why I wrote it when I was like 16 about a boy that I had a crush on that worked in McDonald's in Camberwell in London.
Really?
And I demoed it again when I got to Philadelphia and met with, a touch of jazz and that whole 6-man unit that they had. But Andre Harris in particular, I grew fond of because he was responsible for Jill Scott's Long Walk and The Way. I was like, who did that?
Right.
These dogs before the rest of the world gets to hear them, and the Music Soul Child first album, and Bilal's first album, all the and Glenn Lewis passes through, and then we see you at Larry Gold, and it's like there's so much magic happening. How can I be down? What do I be?
Absolutely. I mean,
by the time I go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying that that time was really magical for me. Yeah.
It was good music being made.
Yeah. You were. I mean, not to say that the music now isn't great, but but the thing.
You couldn't deny piggybacking off of what that was already doing before anybody walked into those buildings. And at the time, you know, in hindsight, I'm looking at it and going, you know, but Al and Dre were only 21, 22 at the time. I'm 20,
and then 21. we had Gerald Levert. We had Gerald Levert coming to the studio. Gerald,
like it was insane.
That's a lot of soul.
But there was a feeling, there was something that was happening, and I knew that this demo that I had since I was 16, I said, Dre, these are the chords. Put that Dre thing on it and let's go. And we had this demo that, you know, before we were shopping for a deal, it was part of us just trying to shop the songs. It was never necessarily going to be a Marsha record or a Michael record. It was just a song. So
but you just mentioned two important things.
Yeah, so that's all happening. And by the time we get the deal with DreamWorks, it was through John McClane, who was personally managing Michael Jackson and plays him
very much so.
And Michael's like, I love that song, Flies. I want that for me. So who's going to turn that down?
Yeah, who's going to turn that mic?
Nobody.
But this is the thing. When people, like, I remember Jazzy Jeff calling us into his office and saying, yo, we just got a call. And I'm thinking it's Dre over there, like, playing a prank. I was like, don't play with my feelings right now.
Right.
That's Michael Jackson's impression I've ever heard in my entire life. He's like, stop playing with me. He's like, no. Yeah. This is really him. Like, are you serious?
Wow.
So turns out it is really him. That's around about August, September of 2000. And by March of 2001, Dre and myself are in, you know, Hit Factory in New York.
Right.
When that was functioning at the time. And, you know, telling Michael Jackson what.
Did you know that the Hit Factory is back?
Is
really? In New York?
In New York City. I kid you not. I kid you not.
That has to be, you know what, I've got to go.
I kid you not. The magic that was made in that place is back.
Like it's I'm
There's a lot of
thankful
history
to whoever is the financier behind that. That's ridiculous.
But were you surprised that Michael was as revealing as he was? You know.
No, not really. I think once I was invited as friends and as family, it was completely transparent. It was him with his kids and the nanny and Bruce Lee and the engineer, and we were family, eating Jezebel soul food every day.
my Michael Jackson experience came through Hank Caldwell, who used to be the senior VP of Epic Records, and he was just a really warm and revealing individual, and I thought the thing that I thought that was really interesting about Michael is that he really knew how to read people, you know. So once he read you, he knew exactly how to act or how to treat you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was. It's crazy to speak of him in past tense, but he truly was an incredible individual.
Just an incredible human being.
Once I had that rapport with him, it was crazy. Like that year, March of 2001, he was being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I remember.
And he came to the studio the night before, and then I remember getting a call the next morning from Mike asking me permission if he could miss the studio for a couple of hours, because it's like I was gonna say nah.
So what do you like? So after a phone call like that, what do you just go take a shot or something? Or?
Right. What do you do after Michael Jackson calls you?
I was staying at the Hudson Hotel in New York.
With the little rooms, with the little bitty rooms.
Rooms that make you feel like you're absolutely claustrophobic. But ordering a bacon cheeseburger and this cupcake for dessert. And I remember room service getting to my room, and I cried my eyes out over that meal, because I couldn't believe that was my life. Like leaving that hotel room every day, looking at other people, knowing that they didn't know me or where I was going and why. And the fact that I couldn't say nor explain it, or would I be believed?
Right.
Isn't it amazing when purpose hits you in the forehead?
Right.
You know, when purpose. I mean, sometimes purpose can hit you like a baseball bat, man.
Oh my goodness.
You feel it.
It was then I was like, okay, I've got something in common with Paul McCartney. And
that is deep.
And Barry the Garrett, and like Rod, like I'm one of them.
New game, new rules.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. Marsha, this Terry Franks. I got a real quick question for you. Now, you guys mentioned something that was really, really prominent to my ears, and that was the fact that you all were creating something with such feeling and with such soul. Now, I know Carl's going to be modest and not say anything about that, but the game has truly changed today when it comes to melodics, when it comes to song structure, when it actually comes to feeling, when it comes to vibe, when it comes to actual manuscript of a song. So I consider you to be the part of the last bridge to that, to be honest with you. That's just my personal opinion, because you actually put feeling in what you're doing. Not saying you don't, Carl. Just saying. It'll just, you know.
I appreciate that. You know what it is? Even during what we would consider our heyday or our time, there's always a way. There's always something else that was going on, but what transcends that always is a song.
Yes.
Right.
I just feel like within our genre, we gave it such a huge umbrella and so many subsidiaries under that.
Absolutely.
You can pinpoint the feeling when it happens, because it doesn't happen too often, because everyone's trying to do this other thing.
Right.
It becomes the popular.
Yeah,
But it doesn't necessarily have to be the norm.
And
the norm will always be a good song.
Absolutely.
That will overcome anything. Strip down anything, get behind a grand piano and just sing your soul out.
Right.
It's going to be over anything that you could ever have.
Right. And I think that there is an energy in the business that tries to convince individuals in our graduating class that there isn't a need to constantly introduce yourself and reintroduce yourself and to reintroduce yourself, because to me the goal is to meet as many people with your music as you possibly can.
Right.
True.
Absolutely
true.
So there's always a brand new introduction to be made.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's interesting.
Absolutely.
I like the way that's put. Yeah.
Right.
So we have listened to Marsha after Marsha after Marsha after.
Right.
No,
but we played a wonderful record called Old Times right before the interview.
Perfect. I love that.
But I need you to.
I love it.
But did you write that record?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
And it was produced by DJ Camper, who I love, the New Jersey, Philadelphia regular.
Is Old Times part of the old crop of records or part of the newer group of your songs?
This is new. This was from my latest album.
No, but I know it's from the latest album. I'm talking about when it was written.
Oh, I actually wrote it recently. I wrote it within the past year for sure.
Okay, because you can record songs right now that you wrote 20 years ago.
Yeah, absolutely. Which I'm absolutely tempted to do. But Old Times, listening to the composition and the melody that the piece of music already spoke, the song kind of wrote itself. And that's kind of how I write anyway. It's about, what does this make me feel like? If I'm not, building from scratch and playing the piano and doing all of that myself, when a producer comes in and gives me something, I'm like, what's the song already saying?
Right.
And that's what it spoke.
That's right.
And just like, it's that good. It's that feeling. I want that old thing back.
Right, Marsha.
But everything that comes with that may not necessarily be everything that you truly want.
Marsha, my name is Tyrone, and I find you to be one of the most.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? Hey.
You know what? I'm so sorry.
Oh no! That was
amazing.
You just made my heart sing doing that right now. You are amazing. Okay, you're amazing. And I was gonna ask you. Being such a soulful singer, like I feel like when you sing from the bottom of your soul, from your heart. How do you find the what gives you inspiration to do that, to just be able to lay it all out there? Because when you sing, I feel it. What gives you that inspiration, Mark?
I feel like I'm feeling everyone's feelings. There's an extra sensory perception, a sixth sense, if you will, about the emotion behind music. So it's never necessarily my tears, but if I'm performing to a crowd, I know someone out there needs to let whatever they're feeling or dealing with, they need to let it out. And I feel like sometimes I'm being spoken through. It's never about what I even want to do intentionally. It's just all the feeling and all of that energy and all of that emotion. So if you have to cry, you have to cry. If it's joy, but it's always with the intention to feel. Right. So I guess that's where the inspiration comes from, just knowing that I'm speaking to someone, whoever it is.
Right. You speaking to me, I feel it. I feel it. Like, no, really, I feel it.
Marsha,
it translates.
Marsha, I'm listening to you talk, and I'm feeling you doing some type of a master class sometime in the near future.
That'd be dope.
I'm hearing it.
That'd be dope. Well, as a fan, I got to say this. I don't know if you realize this, Marsha, that you've reached that class where you have written a song that will outlive you.
Yeah.
Many.
Yep.
Many.
Yeah.
Well, that's really nice there, Terry.
I meant that. No, I really mean that. I mean that as really the highest compliment, because that's as I'm a songwriter myself. That's what every songwriter dreams for.
Yeah, definitely. We trying to get into the time capsule.
Absolutely. There you go.
I pray that this generation understands what that is.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, you'll have your ways, but will it be remembered?
I think they do.
What song am I going to press play on, you know, with this generation next year? I feel like when we were working in the year 2000, did we know we'd still be performing these records in 2019? Like,
right.
I'd like to believe that they know.
You know that was going to happen? Absolutely. Because I did it with the intention to resonate with the soul, not with
it does.
You know, the 20-year-olds then, or whatever they were going through, or the 20-year-olds in the future, what I depicted that to be. It was about what people in general from anywhere deal with.
And dealing with the Philly sound didn't hurt either.
Oh, listen, that partnership changed my life, and I told Jenny my carb-eyed peace be every day that I can. Just a huge, humbled, grateful thank you for allowing that to be a part of my life the way it was.
Yeah.
So Marsha, we have a song that I need you to talk about, and that song is called "Love Ya." Yeah. And when I said that, I gotta say it just like that. Like it's like, baby, I love you. Don't you understand? I just love you.
I just love you.
I love you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
My husband and I, well, actually, when we were just dating and we were boyfriend and girlfriend and chilling and stuff, we wrote that together. And
that's cute. That's so cute.
We had the idea for it. I had the idea for it for a while, and it was really the premise of I knew after 3 days I was in love.
Oh yeah, that's
I
all.
just didn't want to tell him I loved him yet. I was like, "You're taking this too far, my sweet." So I'm like,
trying to hold it in, don't
it? Get around it is by putting a spin on it. So you know, like you say you love anyway. Somebody loves somebody.
that love.
Well, Marsha, I want you to introduce that right here on the Truth Serum show yourself. You, ladies and gentlemen, this is Marsha Ambrosius.
And you're listening to Laya.
That's right. Oh man, Marsha, that is magic. I'm telling you. Wow, that is absolute magic. It kind of has a Jackson kind of feel to it, you know. We want to thank Marsha Ambrosius. We definitely want to thank my sister for coming on the Truth Serum show today.
Yes, thank you.
And we definitely got our flirt on after work.
Right, all the way.
Most definitely. And I just want to, say that good music is in fact still around.
Yeah.
I think people get a little bit confused because maybe you have to go out and look for it, and maybe that isn't what's being marketed, or maybe that's not what marketing is spending their money on, but it's still being created. No,
Right.
yeah, but it's still very much being created. So, you know, when you get that, you know.
Hello?
Yeah, when you absolutely get that. There you go.
Right.
Marsha, that was absolutely magic, I'm telling you. That was,
Thank you.
that was magical. You know, but I was simply saying that I think a lot of people get deterred because maybe they think that great music isn't being created, and you can't always focus on what corporate America is shoving. Sometimes you have to take a search, and you'll be absolutely surprised.
I mean, we're spoiled. I get it on both ends because we're
absolutely.
spoiled by technology. We're just able to click and swipe and
Right.
dismiss. I remember when it used to take 10 minutes or longer for you to download an MP3 that was like only 3 megs, and you're waiting in anticipation, like, what's this about to sound like? And now, you know, if you've got speedy internet, it's done. It's blink of an eye, and you're pressing play, and it's done. It's streams. There's so many things that have changed, but like I said, the main focal point is creating a song that speaks to you, that has a storyline behind it. My daughter was actually born to Laya, the song. Like, if she hears it now, like, she just smiles, and that's how she was welcomed into the world.
That is so cool.
So it's like, you know, mom and dad wrote it, and this was all in mind that we didn't know, you know, in that moment when I decided to open myself to love, that I'd actually not only find it, but have that perfect balance of someone that wanted me and wanted what I wanted for it as much as I did.
Wow.
So 4 years in, nothing has changed. It's still this very much honeymoon phase and learning each other all over again. And this is all while, you know, having a 2-year-old and moving location and getting our homes together and being married, and it's still fresh and it's still new. So
I gotta tell you, this is like the first time I think I done seen stars in A Boogie's eye.
If you want to know who that is, that's the one that's been quiet this entire time.
Man.
Because I'm just taking in everything that you are saying.
Oh,
and
man.
Literally, it's...
You know what, love? Just once I think you truly have to allow yourself to be open to it. And if you're not ready, you're just not ready. I know many times I was lying. Like, I feel like God laughs at me every time I do this prayer. And I'm like, you know what? You're not even listening because you know I'm not serious. I'm not serious. I was never serious.
Right.
You keep saying opening yourself up to love. How do you get to the process to open yourself up to love? How did you get to that journey and get through it?
You have to let
love?
go of all of your shit. All of your shit has to go. Every lost bit of it. The pieces that you despise, the pieces that you feel are uncomfortable, the things that you feel are unresolved, but there's nothing you could do to change them. Because these are the things that I attempted to do. I tried to fix everything. But I was like, my personal journey has nothing to do with anybody else's. So where I may have forgiven, someone may have never forgiven me, and there's nothing I can do about that.
Right.
I just have to be at peace that I made my peace. This was never about asking anybody permission to do so. This is about me wanting to live my life in the world. You know what I'm saying? This is not about what I'm trying to be perceived as or who has to like who. I have to love me.
Most importantly,
that what you think doesn't even matter.
You just inspired me. You just as a writer, you just inspired me to do something else. I'm going home to write something tonight. I'm sorry. I'm going to do it.
And that's all I want. That's all I want. That's good. Bring it back. Let's go.
Yeah. Wow. Did you hear that, Carl?
This is just like, this is definitely, I knew that this would be the right kind of interview. And Marsha, I just want to thank you as my sister, as my comrade, as an artist. You know, I just want to thank you for, you know, just taking the time to really just convey to us and open up to us and remind us, you know, just how important it is as a human being to be vulnerable. And you know what I mean? To be mature enough to be vulnerable. You know. And I just want to thank you for that. You know,
Marsha, we got to do one more thing because just to let you know, plain and simple, that we love you here. You're a friend to the show.
Yeah.
And we got to let you know. Well, you might not hear the sound, but Carl will tell you in just a second.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. Oh, there you go. Okay,
Yeah,
see,
Marsha's
you got
the bomb.
You got him over here dropping bombs and whatnot. Man. So, anything you want to ever talk about, promote, whatever you'd have you're welcome to come here to the Truth Serum Experience. Marsha Ambrosius, ladies and gentlemen, give her a great round of applause.
Thank you,
y'all.
thank you, Marsha.
You know what I mean?
Thank you so much for
Thank you,
having
sweetie.
me. Thank you.
We really appreciate it. We'll talk to you later, okay?
All right, for sure.
All right, love you. All right.
Love you too.